As caregivers, we don't always think about shoes, but we should. Falls often start at or with the feet. So we always want to make sure that our loved one is taken care of with the type of socks or shoes they might wear. My story is my father, he always wore cowboy boots. Do you remember growing up and having maybe certain things that your parents always wore, a certain jacket or coat or a certain scarf or hat or a certain bathing suit, or even those shoes, those flip-flops, those fancy shoes, or maybe it was just a pair of old work boots. My dad used to wear work boots when he was on the job sites, when he was doing construction, but when he did his truck driving, which he did most of the time, he always wore his cowboy boots, always. And how easy were they to put on? You know, you just put your foot in and that was it, and just pulled your boot up. Simple, simple, simple. But in his older age, he started to wear sneakers more around the house or outside, outdoors when he was doing things, because it had a little bit more of a tread. So it's just different times, different steps, different levels. You know, when we are changing, our bodies are changing, and you just want to have a little bit more stability, or maybe it's just easier, it's lighter. Sneakers can be easier to put on sometimes. So it just depends, right? Everybody's different. You know, shoes have to be supportive. You want to make sure that they're easy to put on so that they are supportive and that they are safe, because you don't want to have somebody fall or trip. Prevent falls, reduce frustration, because how many of us when we fall, we're so frustrated, we're like, oh my gosh, why did I just fall? I tripped over something, or I had food in my arms or groceries and I tripped and everything went everywhere and what a mess, and now I'm doing all this other stuff to try and clean things up. But you weren't hurt, but our pride gets hurt sometimes. You know, help someone stay more independent longer by having better shoes. Caregiving isn't about noticing the small things. It's about, you know, having those small things really mean or be greater things, mean bigger things, because shoes may seem small, but they're really big, because that is what supports you. That is what helps you protect your foot, protect your skin, and it helps you walk better so that you don't have those falls, and it just kind of keeps you more independent and stronger without the injury. And you know, you don't want to be limping or using equipment if you don't have to, even for a short period. You want to keep that independent as long as you can and keep our pride, right? Because when we fall, it's kind of embarrassing sometimes. How many people have done that before? I remember one time I was walking down the street and I just stepped on the curb wrong, and I had drinks in my hands, and I held those drinks in my hands, and I don't know how I didn't spill them. I went down and I landed on like my arms and my elbows, and I was so lucky. But as we get older, sometimes we're not as lucky when it's a simple fall. We have a bigger injury when it just seems like a small fall, maybe when we were younger. So we always have to be careful. So protect people. Falls often start with the feet. So make sure that you have really great, smart footwear so that you're prepared for any obstacles that come your way.